capital improvement plan approval by the board and followed by the budget hearing meeting. Would anybody that hasn't signed up like to speak tonight? If so, please come up and sign our sign-up sheet. All right. Adoption of the April 30th, 2025 board meeting minutes. Did you read them? Have any questions, problems?
No, I was able to read them, no questions.
Yeah, they look good to me.
I wrote it.
Okay,
I make a motion to approve the April minutes as written.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I've got two of them here to be signed.
I have one here that's not stapled that we can just use so I can rescan it.
Okay.
Change the 26 there.
Okay.
The date's already in there. Is that a copy?
This is
There's
it's gonna be
two, so
easier
one for
for
them, one for us.
You don't need both yours, then do. She's passed one over.
Okay.
Here's one to sign and then.
Yeah,
Send out for her.
I had it, the date on mine already.
Oh, you've already signed it for her.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Do we have to initial it on this one? So that's
Sure.
why I made the other one out.
What's this? Last page, the one
I believe, yeah, I think that came with.
Yeah, this one, okay.
Oh.
This one's
Fine,
fine.
staple.
Then you need to have Larry
I
sign
initial
it.
that.
Okay. So this is my copy.
Do you want Larry to sign your copy?
Oh, yeah. Third one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. Good. Yeah, okay.
Or if you could, please. Okay. That's done.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna discuss the capital improvement plan. This is for the capital improvement plan hearing. The townships are required to have a capital improvement plan. If they don't, the county can take like 30% of the funds that we have left over at the end, in any of our, in a couple of our funds at the end of the year, rainy day fund and the fire, is it fire and EMS fund?
No, township or what the
Township. the
DLG
town-
usually refers to as general fund.
Yeah, and so we do not want that to happen. We want to keep our money because we need it for improvements, equipment and so forth. So Trustee Ellis has put this plan together. You have to come up with items and put some dollar amounts to them, but you're not going to be under any obligation to adhere to this plan. You just have to have a plan. When it comes time to the things included in here are obviously things we're going to need, but we probably won't be buying the equipment that was found at a certain price. So, in reality, we'll probably end up buying a different piece of equipment at a different price. But you have to have something down here. When it comes time to actually buy these things, then it'll just be like regular business. It'll come through the board for approval and everything. I don't know, everybody's got a copy of it. Does anybody want me to read them, or you okay just kind of looking
Public
at
meeting,
what's
so we
down
can
here?
just make comments.
It's just a general plan. Way we've been instructed to create this, you just have to have something down, so
For 3 years.
that's what they've done.
So they can't take our money and use it for the roads.
Yeah,
Do you want to say something?
This plan is for 3 years, but it has to be resubmitted every year going into the next year so that everything is still going in progression. Also, this will be submitted to the county for their review and to the state. The funding that they're looking for in 27, 28, obviously, we can project only so much. We don't know the exact numbers until we get closer to those dates. So as we get closer to those dates, we'll adjust the numbers. But our goal is to utilize the taxpayer money here for our fire department, EMS, and for our township. We're all aware that we pay enough in road taxes and wheel taxes and gas taxes and everything else for roads. So we would like to keep our money and use it for our township. And this is a time for you folks this is a hearing for you folks so that you can tell us what you think of the capital improvement plan. The only thing we'll ask is if you do speak, to go to the podium so that you can be picked up on the live stream.
I'll go through that sign-up sheet. Greg, do you have any, I'm sorry, Eric.
Eric Brown, resident of Madison Township. Looking at the capital improvement plan, the way that you're funding these items, does everybody understand what your funds are and how they're supposed to be utilized? Everybody understand what a rainy day fund is? You know what your rainy day fund is defined as through the state of Indiana, what those expenditures are supposed to be used for?
We do, but we just need you to state what you want to state.
No, you tell the audience what the rainy day fund's supposed to be used for. You're the government official, tell the board or the community what the rainy day, what are allowed expenditures out of the rainy day fund. Trustee Ellis?
Would you like me to answer that question?
Well, we use the rainy day fund for emergencies, things that aren't planned and budgeted for and so forth like that. Things
Exactly.
occur and we say, oh, we didn't budget for that. So we've got the rainy day fund.
Rainy day
It's a
fund
backup.
for the state of Indiana for unforeseen emergency, just in case expenses. A hailstorm comes through, tears up your roof, you don't have the money to pay for it, your insurance deductibles, you don't have those money. Fire truck pulls out here, transmission falls out of it, you don't have the money for it. It's not to replace a 30-year-old fire engine that you didn't know.
We don't use it for that.
Oh, that's what you're planning on using it for, right here.
That's what.
Item number 2 here, rainy day fund, $445,000 to replace a 30-year-old fire engine. That's not an unforeseen expense. That's something that your debit fund is used for, that you've eliminated. You're planning on eliminating that debit fund. That's what your debit fund, that's what it's used for. Those kind of purchases come out of your debit fund, not your rainy day fund. Rainy day fund is for the chiefs here. If they have an incident where they have to pay 20 guys to come in and work for 48 hours overtime, and it's not in the budget, that money's there for the chief to pull for rainy day funds. Come out of the rainy day fund. It's emergencies. Mr. Hager, you're exactly correct. It's for emergencies.
Yeah.
It's not for this type of purchase. So you need to revisit that. That is not.
Well, again, like I said at the beginning of the meeting, Dad has some placekeepers down there. If we don't have, put some money in there,
I agree.
give them something they'll accept, they're gonna take our money.
Sure, I agree, but at the same time, you can't present a fictitious report to the state and the county saying this is what we're going to do, but we're really not going to do it.
The state is the one that mandates. That
Oh,
we
I
take-
understand.
No, let me finish. The state is the one that mandates that they're gonna take money out of the rainy day fund if it's not used.
Sure, but there's plenty of other expenses. You have an emergency right now on your air packs, don't you?
There's a line in here for air packs.
Yeah, and that expense could be moved over because that is an emergency.
Well, it's not an emergency at this time, I'm sorry.
Okay, so if the guys come out of here and they don't have air packs to breathe air and go into a fire, that's not an emergency?
We have air packs, Eric. As a matter of fact, we just had our air pack service, thank you.
Yeah, you just paid how much money and you're getting ready to pay the same to replace them?
And your time's up.
No,
So the next item here,
Are we doing 3 minutes because this time is up?
yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I'm gonna go ahead and speak.
No,
because there's
we're
no one
gonna
else
go
here.
by our rules, not yours, Eric. It's 3 minutes.
Okay, folks, this is how they shut you down when they don't agree with you. If you look through the rest of this, none of this other applies either.
Do you want to call him out on it and tell him he's done?
Just a second.
Mr. Hoggett, would you like me to go ahead and continue?
Can you keep it fairly short?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sure. Okay, the next items here, the cumulative fire fund. If you look at the cumulative fire fund, these expenditures here total almost $900,000 over the next 3 years, okay? What's the balance of your cum fund currently? $499,000. So you are planning on spending an additional $500,000 out of your cum fund that you don't have. And you cut, excuse me?
This is not saying we're spending the money. This is just saying if we have money,
You're
this
gonna
is our
submit this to
plan.
the state and say, this is what we're planning on doing over the next 3 years.
It is not a commitment to spend money. It is a commitment with ideas that we need and projects we need coming down the pike.
Right. I think your chief will probably tell you here he has another engine that he's replaced. Where's that money gonna come from? You have another 20-year-old engine that needs replaced. There's another $850,000.
Well, again, Eric, this is not a list of what they're intending to do. They gave us a deadline, I believe it's September 30th to get this
Make it
done,
realistic.
or lose the money, so.
Sit down and spend the time, sit down with your administration that you've hired. Let them be involved in it.
This did come from the fire chief,
Oh, did
part of it, yes, the list of fire
Did you
projects.
get to put your entire input in there?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I gave them
And you determine where the funding comes from?
no, excuse me, we were instructed, well, say it this way. We were told where we could pull funds from.
You were told where you could pull
Yes.
funds from. Okay, so he was told by the trustee where he could pull
No,
funds.
he was told by the state where we could pull funds. Let's make sure that's perfectly clear.
Yeah, that, honestly, that was from the CPA.
I think
Okay.
it's time should be, I
Okay.
think.
Well,
Okay.
Look at the other items, though, guys, in your general fund. It's just do the math. Your general fund for next year, you're planning on spending $100,000 for painting. You cut your budget. Look at your general items in your budget for next year. You don't have that money in your budget.
The stuff on this sheet are not part of the 2026 budget. So if we do these projects in 2026, or leave it 2026, there'll be additional appropriations to pull money from funds we have.
So basically, this is trash.
It's required, and you're required by the state that just got passed this session
Okay,
with it got signed into law July 1st, and we have the September 30th deadline to get this approved. And a resolution passed.
Are we all
Greg,
gonna
you have
get
any
5 minutes now?
yeah, you got 3 minutes.
Oh, not 5?
And you have to come up to the podium. So that you're on camera.
Thank you, Eric.
Okay, I'm Greg Terhune. I just want to compliment the plan. I think it's a wise thing to come up with a plan that meets the requirements that are given by the state so that you are able to retain our money and use it in our township, as you mentioned. I just wanted to compliment the board for this.
Thank you. I would like to make a comment about Eric's rainy day only for emergencies. I believe we are allowed to move money between funds if we advertise an additional appropriation. We did that where we moved money from rainy day to something else to do the insurance work, or I don't remember what.
I don't think we can pull that out of it.
Okay. Well, anyway. It used to be like a savings account for emergencies, but with the state taking 30%, there's no incentive to save up your money because they'll take 30%. Sorry,
I
I didn't
haven't
mean to
used
take
all
all
my
your time.
5 minutes yet.
No.
Sorry. I should-
I understand what you're trying to do and retain the money here, and I think that is a very wise and a good effort you're putting forth there. I've run across this and many other, this type of situation that you're up against, and I've seen it before. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. Megan?
Butler. I just wanted, where do we get like the total number? Like, is that, did the state say this is how much we have, or is it, like, I don't really know a lot about this, so I was just kind of trying to figure out how did we know what the total number was?
These are a list of things that we see coming needed for the township for the next 3 years. And we may or may not have, this is what they're gonna cost if we do all of them. We probably won't be able to do all of them. It will depend on our funds and how we manage our money the next 3 years. So the answer is, we don't know. This is not saying we're gonna spend this money. This is just saying, these are our projects, this is how much we think they're gonna cost.
Okay, I didn't know if the state was like, you have a pot of 2 million.
No,
What do
we do
you?
not.
Okay, so the 2 million was just the approximate numbers. And then you said something about this gets revisited every year, so.
We have to do this every year and submit to the state by September 30th, every year. Next year's will be 2027 through 2029. We add on to it, and we can also edit this list year to year. Again, it takes board approval. Once they approve this list, if we want to make amendments to it, it has to be through a board amendment. So a new resolution with amendments.
And then based on, I know that this is like a projection, is there ever like, you have to, like, this is what we actually did? Or is there like some kind of ramification later of like, hey, you said that you were gonna do this, but I see you didn't do your floor? Like, I was just curious, like, kind of how, what does that look like as far as
We don't
oversight
know
from the
yet.
state?
State laws can change, they can make adjustments, but this is the law we're following now that just passed in July.
Okay.
Or was passed in the session and signed into law in July.
Thank you.
Thanks, Megan. Trudy?
Okay, in the past, the state allowed townships to protect some of our unencumbered balances. Madison Township, with the prior rules, transferred funds to the rainy day for future large expenditures. Now we have to state how all of the unrestricted funds are to be used. It almost seems like we are being punished for saving money. I ran off what I could from the state concerning the capital improvement plan, or the Indiana Code 36-6-9. I didn't feel like the code was written for an easy understanding of the process, which I realize is new to the state and the other municipalities. Adopted or amended plan. I didn't see any rules for amending the plan. My concern is that the funds we have saved and the funds in the ending balances should be used for the reason the tax was collected from taxpayers, which the state lists as a requirement, but the township receives no tax monies from the state or county to fix our roads, so why should monies that the township receives for the township costs be now used for roads? I'm going to give just a couple of examples of my concern with the state requirements of the capital improvement plan during 2022. The township budget was $160,000. The township received $80,000 in tax dollars that year. The monies to finance that budget had to come from the beginning balance in that account or the unencumbered funds. And again, in 2021, the township budget was $180,000. The township received $88,000 in taxes. We were short $92,000, which again had to be funded by the beginning balance or the unencumbered funds. I do think that there was other reasons why that happened, but this has happened with the poor relief and fire funds as well, which is another reason I'm not understanding why the state wants all of the unencumbered funds to be accounted for. I realize that they do, but anyway. When the township decides to make large purchases, as we have done in the past with the concrete and with the remodel project, that will go before the board for approval, and taxpayers have the right to vote, to voice their opinion on whatever the project may be. I just want all of the unrestricted funds to be accounted for on the capital improvement plan so we can continue to use tax dollars for the funds we are collecting tax dollars for and not for roads. I believe the capital improvement plan before us accomplishes this. At least I sure hope so. I spoke to the county auditor a few weeks ago with a question, and she answered the question, but also stated that things just keep changing from the state.
Thank you, Trudy. Denise?
questions are gonna be more for understanding and some to you since you're the professional. So the 100,000 for, refurb to 32, what needs to be done?
Men's quarters for one thing, and their locker room needs to be refurbished. The day room needs to be refurbished. It has carpet down that is horrendous at this point. We need to do something with that flooring that was gonna last for years, not for weeks or days. And we need interior painting, and there are some other just various things. We need to put decks out here all the way around, because right now they're ready to cave in on us. And that's a danger to our firefighters and anybody else that's around here. So there are a lot of projects around here that need to be taken care of.
Okay, so, and I know 27, 28, you already said things can change, because I'm pretty sure the air pack amount was pretty low. So are you getting quotes to support the projects that are gonna be done, rough quotes, rough
On
ideas?
some of these, but not all of them. We're estimating on some.
And I apologize if these are duplicate questions, so the 2 fire engine amounts, is this 2 separate engines or one?
One,
No, one, because the total is what we think it's gonna cost.
How many engines do we need replaced?
Right now, one.
How many eventually in the next 3 years?
3 years. We could probably do another one in a couple of years. That way can I take a second to answer this real quick? If not.
If not,
could-
I will
you
call
talk-
you.
Yeah, that's fine. One for sure right now. Desperately.
So do we have a quote for the one, or like what type it is?
We've got multiple, yeah,
And what type of engine?
as far as like,
It's not another ladder, it's not.
oh, no, it's a pumper. Yep, a pumper. That's what we're looking for right now. Not a mini pumper or standard pumper.
That's what I wanted to hear. All right, and the auto load system, is that for the medic?
It's,
Is that one not in good shape, or?
the second name doesn't have one. We would like to have one for both.
That's right, okay. Actually, I think that's all I have, because I know the other stuff's gonna change, but I do fully believe the air packs, the 250s probably blow. Do we still have a trailer down at 31?
no.
No, okay. Oh, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you.
Carol Magnet. Don't speak. Pete Magnet.
Good evening.
Hello, Pete.
With the exception of emergencies, the lack of planning typically leads to debt. You're doing a great job avoiding debt. I also subscribe to the golden rule. He who has the goal, the state, makes the rules. I support that as it was written.
Thanks, Pete. All right. That concludes the capital improvement plan hearing. Do I hear a motion to adjourn this part of the meeting?
Do we have to vote on it?
That's the next meeting.
Oh, we vote on it, okay. I would make
This is just a
I would
hearing.
make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Brings us to the capital, the second meeting on our agenda, and that's the capital improvement plan adoption. So this is time for, we've heard comments and so forth, and this is time for the board to talk about anything that's on your mind. Do you have anything, Matthew, that I know it's all new and rushed and everything else, but
I reviewed it pretty well. In the end, I'm generally going to support it. But for a clarification, just hearing the comments from the public, Denise had mentioned 250 maybe be low for the SCBA, but did I pick up, or did I understand that that's like two phases. There's one in 2016, that's 250, and then there's another one, 2017.
What this does is this gives us a ballpark to work with. If the SCBA's, for example, should cost more, then we would bring that to the board. We would not overspend, obviously, but this is, again, these are rough numbers. I mean, they're not cast in stone numbers.
Okay. When I had first seen the plan, I also, Eric Brown had brought up the concern about rainy day fund not being able to, or that it generally would be used for emergencies. I looked into that deeply because I was concerned if, are we using it for the right purposes? And what I've learned and what I saw through the research is that absolutely it can be used. It's not just for emergencies. Rainy day fund, the name of it brings a misconception. Why I was confused as well. Specifically what I saw in the law, money in the rainy day fund could be used at the discretion of the fiscal body. Basically, it can be used for any purpose that the general fund could be used for, is what I've learned. So that would include fire engines, the SCBA, station repairs. So seeing how the law is written, I think it was like 2010 has been put in, that alleviated my concern in seeing that. So I know that I'm addressing public comment in general, but it's something that I shared. And yeah, it seemed like the law opened it up. And I believe that, just an assumption, that's why they're targeting the 30% out of both of those specific funds, general fund and also rainy day, because they can be used very similarly, is my understanding. So I opened up saying that I'm going to generally, accept this, but just kind of running through some of the thoughts and what I had researched and found.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I know this is a general idea. It's not cut in stone, set in stone. And I know that whatever trustee brings to the board, will be discussed and has to be approved anyway. So, it'll be business as usual. This is just what we have to comply with to protect our money. And I'm fine with it.
I think, we all understand these are ballpark figures. They are good projects for equipment and refurbishing to go forward with, and I'm good with that.
Okay, well, this is resolution 2025-10, resolution of Township Board of Madison Township, Morgan County, Indiana. Adoption capital improvement plan for Madison Township. Be it resolved that public hearing was held to adopt the capital improvement plan as required by Indiana Code 36-6-94, unit name Madison Township, county name Morgan County. The plan is duly adopted by the following vote of the members of the Township Board on 26th day of September 2025. Do I hear a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Change that date right there too, because we need to. I haven't seen the 24.
Well, we have a 26 copy here, so we don't have to.
I have one
Well,
that's
I
2026.
know, I printed that off, you must have changed it.
I have one that says 2026.
Whatever, we got it.
You
Yeah.
got it?
Oh, sorry. Yep.
So then we need to initial this one since we're making an edit.
Yeah, initial that too, I guess. Let's forget to do that.
Turn down for initials.
And then we need Larry's signature on one.
You have a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn
I'll
this part of the
second that.
meeting.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Meeting is adjourned. The third part of this agenda is the budget hearing meeting. I'll call it to order. Don't need another roll call. The budget hearing meeting is the opportunity for all of you to speak any of your concerns to the board. I don't know how much any of you have seen it, researched it, or anything like that. I thought it's been done different ways in the past. I thought maybe I would read through this and just tell you what has changed. Some of the categories and line items went up, some of them went down based on our needs, what the trustee felt our needs were. I think that sounds good, just to briefly go through that. That sound good to everybody? And then you all will have the opportunity to speak to anything that's in this report, including what I'm gonna read here. So, the salary, the clerical help, was increased $1,000 from 22,000 to 23,000 for 2026. Paid to the township board was increased $210 from $6,390 to $6,600. That's for all of us. We'll make about $2,000 a year, I think. Social Security went up a little bit, $88. So there was a slight increase for that category for personal services of $1,298. Pretty reasonable, I think. Stationery and office supplies stayed the same. Didn't need to mention that. Travel expenses was reduced by was increased by $250 from $250 to $500 for 2026. Insurance was decreased by $6,000 from 2025. And what is that insurance on?
That's our property liability, workman's comp. I think those are the only two that affect the
Okay.
township.
All right, thank you. Utility services were decreased by $4,000. I'm assuming that's just based on previous usage. We can see that we're not using as much. That pretty much.
We changed the formula and put more weight on the fire budget starting this year, so that's why we're lower than we were in the past.
Okay, thank you.
Trying to prorate it according to use.
Repairs and maintenance increased $2,200. It's going up like everything else. Payroll fees increased $50. Software contracts went up $1,000. Training went up $50. Community services went up $700. So for other services and charges category, we had a $5,750 increase.
Deduction.
Pardon me?
It's a deduction.
It's a minus.
Reduction, I'm sorry, reduction. Thank you. Keep me straight on this. Program director for personal services went up $500 salary. share. Not sure what that is.
Social Security.
Huh?
Social Security.
Oh, that's Social Security. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read the top line there. My eyes are a little bit blurry. Went up $35. Insurance, was decreased by $500.
No.
Actually, 62, it was decreased by $1,650.
$1,650, excuse me. Utility services decreased by $2,800. Repairs and maintenance decreased by $460. So we have savings for that category, $4,910 over 2025.
Let's see that shit.
Yes. Services for physicals.
Wait,
No.
you skipped the
Yes.
town direct quarterly.
There's part of it, hang on a second here. Here.
OPT,
Use this
CNS.
sheet. Use this sheet, because we were like here for housing on, we went up $5,000 on this one.
No, I'm right here.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we reduced it 500. What's OPT, CNS?
That serves as a physician, dentist, and opticians.
Oh, okay.
Is it-
Well, that was reduced $500.
We haven't used that in the 3 years that Larry and I have been in the administration.
Uh,
But we have used a lot of public utility services and shelter, so that's why those were increased. We had dramatic increase this year. In fact, we've used up our budget line items for this year. We might need to extend the district appropriation at the end of the year to cover some of our expenses that we've been paying out. It's only end of September now.
Personal services, salaries and wages, increased $55,266.50. Assistant chief salary was reduced by $3,000. The Social Security Township share increased $3,204. Perf, so 77 fund and perf was increased $10,000. They increased the rate to state to 23.3%, I think, of the highest paid firefighter salary. Health insurance, the township share, decreased $14,000. Not everybody's entitled to signing up for it. Our fuel decreased $5,000. Fire building repair, maintenance supplies decreased $25,000 for savings of $20,000 for that category overall. Over 2025. Other services and charges, insurance was decreased by $20,000. Payroll fees was increased $700 for a total savings for that category of $2,300. Our debt services payments decreased by $161,000. We'll go into 2026 with no debt. And that's a total of $161,000 savings for that category. So kind of gives you an idea. Things went up and down. I think it's a very good budget. Our budget's less this year. Normally in the past, we've had increases in the 12% range. Last year, we kept it at around 4.2%, I think. This year, we're negative. Part of that's due to paying off the loan, $161,000, but there's still some savings beyond that. I think maybe $30,000 or so. So I don't have that percentage from me, but it's savings. It's, it's better than the budget going up. You don't see too many budgets go down this day and age. This is the time for all of you to speak to the board about your ideas, concerns, or anything about the proposed budget. And we'll have a meeting in 10 days where the board will approve the budget in part or in whole or not at all. And your input's valuable to us. And we can make changes. We can lower amounts. We can't raise them. But based on your input, we use that to make decisions like that if we think a line item should be reduced or anything like that. So, Greg, would you like to speak?
I think I will pass. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Eric?
Do you have the timer?
Appreciate it, sir. I'm sure you get tired of hearing it. You hear it every year, but I'm gonna fight for it till the day I die here. I'm a lifetime resident. And you guys get this information every year, but it falls upon dead ears. At least it has for the last 3 years. This fire station was built 25 years ago with the intent of staffing this fire station for the town that we have just north of us, known as Hartland Crossing. 25 years later, we're still not staffing this fire station. Do you realize that?
No.
We still don't have a fire engine staffed in this fire station. And every year at least for the last 4 years, the last 4 fire chiefs have brought to you a proposal to add additional staffing to this fire station, and it has been shot down.
So you're saying additional staffing. You said it's not staffed.
Right. We don't have, the fire chief will tell you he doesn't have enough personnel with the current staffing model. Right now, in today's fire service, a part-time job is if you look at your budget, the $55,000 increase was a 75-cent raise. That's what that increase was. That 75 cents brought your firefighters up to $16.75. The average firefighter wage in Indiana is $18.30. So when a guy can leave here and go work at McDonald's and make $1.50 more, a part-time job is not as important to a person as it is if I call my buddy and say, hey, I got tickets to the Pacer game tonight. You want to go to the Pacer game? Sure, I'm going to go to the Pacer game. When it's a full-time job to somebody, they don't have that option. It makes it very difficult upon an administrator to try to staff apparatus when you only have a minimum base to pull from. If I'm trying to get 6 people to work and I only have 6 positions to pull from, one person calls off, it puts that fire truck out of service. So those 3 people that need to respond on that fire engine, that house that's burning in Hartland Crossing, can't respond with 3 people. Most of the time you have.
So what's your point? Are you saying you want more money?
Well, what you're doing this year, if you look at your debit with your proposed budget, you're wiping out all your funds. So the next administration, you wiped out your debit fund, you wiped out your accum fund, you wiped out your,
Yeah, we're giving the firefighters a raise this
hold
year.
on, you wiped out all your funding mechanisms for the next administration. That $221,000 that you cut out of your accum fund and your debit fund, put that back into personnel services. It's already funded, it's already taxed, the taxpayer's not gonna feel it.
Okay, board can take that advisement.
Take a look at that. What that allows the chief and the administration to do is now you have another firefighter. If you don't want to do a full-time, 146,000 would put another part-timer. I tried to talk to Trustee about that last week. 146,000 would put another part-time spot. Is that ideal? No. Your chief will tell you, it's hard to get part-time people to work. But at least it gives them an opportunity that if somebody calls off, I can still have that fire truck in service. There's been arguments over the years about NFPA standards and all that. We know we're never gonna get to the 17 people we need, but Madison Township needs 11 firefighters. We have 6 right now.
We're not NFPs. We're not subscribed to them. We
Right,
don't
but-
even
Well,
make a flip on the
Fires burn
radar.
the same way here as they burn all over the
well,
world.
Well, we're not
yeah.
required to have that many.
Yeah, trying to
Yeah.
get, through it. This
Yep.
is not the forum to
So, okay,
decide staffing for our
Exactly,
fire
yep.
department, so.
yeah, we've been doing that for years. So going through the budget, personnel services, that was one. Take a look at that. That would be something, if you could add that in there, that would improve your staffing. You're down here at your building maintenance, what I was talking about earlier. You see where you've cut that from 40,000 to 25,000. Your capital improvement plan shows that you're gonna spend 100,000. Just put that $100,000 in your budget. Then you don't have a shortfall. You're already cutting your throat by cutting your budget, and you're already gonna say you're gonna spend $100,000 next year. Why isn't it in the budget? Fix it before it breaks. Your insurance, if you're gonna add a $775,000 fire engine, that's gonna increase your insurance rate. Put it in the budget. Don't cut your budget. You're cutting your insurance by $20,000. Fix it before it breaks. Down here, your fire and EMS equipment replacement, that's where you put your air packs. $20,000, put $200,000 there. Put it in your budget. That's what the budgeting process is for. Take a look at the last page. You skipped over that. You didn't even mention it to all the folks sitting out here. This is where the major cuts are, and this is what's gonna hurt. That debit fund doesn't just generate money for apparatus, that generates gadget. Anybody, the superintendent will tell you back here, debit and gadget monies are how it works. If you look at what I gave you, Madison Township is, out of 23 taxing districts in this county, Madison Township is the 19th lowest in the county. We're one of the lowest tax rates in the county. Why are we doing any cuts? We protect the highest assessed value taxing district in this county by over 80 million. We are $80 million more valuable than the city of Martinsville.
Yeah, Eric, we got several more to get through.
Yeah, I know you don't want to hear it, but
No, you're just over your time. I should have began to get you, I've let you go over, but.
Yep. I appreciate it, but
Okay.
I would ask that you please look at that. Right now, we have the prime opportunity to fix a problem at basically no cost to the taxpayer. Because they're already paying for it. You don't have to cut it, you can move it right into personnel services. And this guy right here will tell you that that'll make his job a whole lot easier. Correct, Chief?
Yes.
Thank you, Eric.
Can I make one real quick clarifying comment too? Excuse me, so that way I don't sound like a liar. I'll make it real quick, I'm sorry. So he is correct with the staffing for the engine. But the 32 is staffed. I'm just not able to run an engine every day. So I don't want these guys thinking that we're not running a crew out of 32, so.
Chief, what can that one guy in that SUV do when he pulls up in front of that house?
I'm not arguing that with you, I promise.
Make sure they understand.
But I just want you guys to know that.
One
we
guy
still
in
do
an
have
SUV,
People at 32s.
one guy in an SUV.
But you can't send an engine.
No, I don't have one guy, sorry.
Megan? Yes.
I have a couple questions. I think you said you can't add amounts in, but I was curious, as far as Little League, I know that it's not a lot, but I feel like giving back to our community, we have $12,000 that's going to the senior citizens. And I'm just curious if we can't give something to the Little League. I'm not sure how that works. And then my other question is Project Lifesaver. Is that, if we don't put money into that, if our residents need Project Lifesaver, do they still get it, or how does
They
that?
still respond.
Okay, so we just don't help pay for it, or what is the,
They have had issues in the past with taxing and not being forward with information.
say that again?
They have withheld information in the past that was public information as far as taxing and income and so forth. And so we severed ties with them back then because they would
For
not.
Project Lifesaver or for Little League?
Project Lifesaver. Now, we do Boy Scouts. We also donated this field over here to the football. So we've made some investments in the, not
Okay.
to say we couldn't do.
Right,
Little
no,
League.
for sure. So for Project Lifesaver, what is, like, do we just assume that the county is gonna take care of it, or sort of what is?
I think the chief could probably address that better than I could.
I'm sorry, I zoned out for a minute. What was the question? I apologize.
That's right, Project Lifesaver.
Yes.
If our township doesn't participate or doesn't pay into that, is there any ramification for the citizens of Madison Township?
No.
Like,
I don't, to be honest with you, I know, I don't even think the Project Lifesaver in our county even gets tax dollars. I don't think they do.
Typically, they get funding from donations.
They, as I say, they get grants and donations, but we have, we have the Project Lifesaver program here, and we've got clients on it, but no, we don't have any ramifications.
okay, so if we don't, it's not like,
Megan, hold, this is a budget here, and we can't add anything to this budget, okay? So that's,
well, I understand that. I'm
That's
just
for another
thinking, if we
meeting.
can't add it to
if
this
you
budget,
have
I just
something you
wanna
want
get
to speak,
clarification.
if you have
for-
something you want to speak to the budget, speak it to the board. We're not even supposed to engage in conversation about it, but go ahead and
Okay.
say to the board what you want us to hear about the budget.
My other questions, is I appreciate the increase with the salaries and wages. But I was just curious on the lessening of the health insurance, and what is the implication for being comparable to, because our goal the last couple of years has been to kind of get people to want to work here, and I was just curious how that gets us.
If you have a comment about the budget, you want it raised, or say that to the board. We're not getting into a back and forth conversation. If you want to understand things about it, you could go into the trustee's office before the meeting and work out those issues.
I'm asking you about the health insurance for those
Why
amounts,
the
like how
budget went
those
down.
came about, and does that make, like, you obviously came up with the number.
It's based on the percentage of folks that are actually enrolling in the insurance.
And so have we taken, is the negative, the lessening of 14,000, is that we have taken insurance away from more people, or we have fewer
No.
employees?
We've not taken insurance away from anybody.
Huh?
It's their prerogative, it's their option to enroll. If they don't enroll, then we have money sitting there that is not being used. We can use it somewhere else.
And it has
So-
over 2 years.
And
Okay.
and when we initially put the amount in there, a couple of years ago. Can I finish without interruption? Thank you. When we put that amount in there initially is because we didn't know the full amount that it would cost to do the insurance.
Gotcha, okay. And then finally, the paying off of the debt services, is there do we have a penalty or something for paying off that debt? Or can we use that and still be making payments and have, like, not deplete that account? Because it's nice to say, hey, we don't have any more debt, but can that money be used for something else?
No,
There's no money there. There's no money in it.
once
We are
the
not
once
in
the loan
debt
is
on
paid,
that.
you no longer receive that income from.
So we paid it off this
We
year.
pay it off this year.
Okay, got it. All right, I just want to clarify that. Okay, thank you. That was all.
Thank you. Trudy?
Okay, Madison Township has been in debt for nearly 3 decades or 30 years, and I'm excited that Lord willing, by the end of the year, Madison Township will be out of debt. I believe this trustee has put Madison Township in a very good financial position considering many of the unknowns that are coming in the next few years. Thank you.
Can you speak into the mic? The camera's on your picking door.
I thought this budget overall was an excellent budget. I thought a few lines maybe should have been slightly higher, but too late for that now. There were only 2 items on the fire budget that I thought maybe could be reduced, and that is the clothing allowance and physicals. The Cume Fund budget, which the trustee lowered by $60,000 and now is $100,000, could be lowered if the board wanted more oversight on the expenditures from that fund. By the trustee lowering the budgeted amount in that fund, I can tell that he respects and appreciates the board's opinion. In the past administrations, we've had monies being wasted out of that fund. And the budgeted money was totally spent, every penny of it. But this is not the case now, so it is up to the board if it wants to lower slightly that Cume Fund. One thing I don't think people realize is that once the board approves the budget, the state can also lower the budget. I say this to say that the trustee cannot submit whatever he feels like, and the board is a check and balance. So is the state. Thank you.
Thanks, Judy. Denise?
She had to leave.
Julie?
Gone, yeah.
Carol, you'll speak? All right, Pete?
Hello again. I'm working at a disadvantage because the one sheet that I saw was dated August 10th of 25 for the budget. I didn't see the other sheets until much later. I didn't comment on those. First thing I saw is that it was missing the personnel and wages, which I thought was significant, but it was later on carried, and I understand a lot of reductions, very good. I saw that printing and supplies both seemed a little bit high because, and this is trivia, because you were using what was not spent this year. Looking at this year, what we saw was a comparison with the new budget of 2026 with a partial budget of 2025. I would propose in the future, you have 3 years, 22, 23, 24, all full years with percentages beside, so you can see a trend, you can see the history, you can see what's happening. You don't really have a good idea of what's happening when you see a proposed budget and part of last year. I like the idea very much you're not borrowing money. That's absolutely fantastic. Paying interest is wasting money. It's money you can't use. It's something to be avoided. Again, as I said, with the exception of emergencies, when you have to borrow money, you haven't planned appropriately. I think purchasing used equipment, when you consider the cost of a new truck to lose its value by 20 to 30% when you drive it off the showroom, when you look at the number of runs we have in this area, in my mind, as a taxpayer, it's very difficult to justify brand new equipment. You can get equipment that's very serviceable at a much more reasonable cost. Talking about fire trucks, again, as a taxpayer, I would like to see this equipment be used exclusively for fire purposes, not to run errands, not to buy lunch, and especially not to ever go outside of the fire district. In fact, it might be necessary to attach monitoring equipment to the trucks to see where they're going in a given year. It's not that we don't trust our firefighters, but if you don't check it, it isn't done. Also, on personnel, I believe a very strong case can be made for a better mix of part-time when you save insurance, health costs, all those other things. Retirement's a big thing. Then what you can do is make it a place to come for part-time because you're raising them hourly rate 2 to 3 hours an hour. Easily covered by the money you're saving in the full-time. Again, that's different. Lastly, I would point out that your personnel policy manual needs to be upgraded every year and possibly shown for public inspection, for input, to see what's actually being done with the firefighters. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you, Pete.
And I agree with that last one. I said, I agree with that last
Yeah.
one.
For sure. That was not budget related,
Do what?
although a lot of it wasn't budget related.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, you changed your mind? Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but some of our stuff is not appropriate, I guess, just for the budget, but we're kind of new at coming to these meetings, so I apologize for that.
No worries, I'm sure you'll be corrected like anybody else that's up there. I hope.
I
Just for
would
fairness.
concur, as being a manager in my former profession, that it really is kind of important to see the trends each year of what's happening. So if there's any way possible of seeing previous years and percent increases in each of the areas, it would be helpful, I think, not only for maybe you guys, but also the public to see, okay, are we, with inflation or less than inflation, or what's the situation? So future budgets, it's nice to see previous stuff. And I know that's hard because sometimes you change the categories and then it just all messes it all up. I don't understand this borrowing business, but I know from my personal standpoint that when I borrow money, I have to pay interest on that. So the fact that we're paying stuff off, I think is a good thing. And I would hope that as our budget progresses forward, that we save our money and then invest it by giving cash so that we don't have to cost, as far as the taxpayers go, if I understand all this stuff correctly, to pay for interest. I just think that's wasted money.
It is.
I agree with Pete when he says that, and I don't know if you can find good used vehicles, but I would think that you would be able to find some good used vehicles rather than go with new. I know that the maintenance is going to be less on the new one, but the cost is substantially less, I think, on the used ones. So I'm going to concur with that. The information on the budget on full-time and part-time, and I know they were saying about, we need more people in here. And I know the expenses of the fringe benefits are fairly high, but people coming in that want a job may not really look at the fringe benefits as much as they're going to look at what the salary is. So if we could fix it so that we raised our part-time people up, because we're not spending as much money on the fringe benefits, which seem to be fairly high, then I think that would be maybe a way of cutting our costs, but getting maybe good quality people in here as part-time, and you can get a pool of them so that you can pull from, so he's not having trouble having people that he's hunting for. I think that's about, and then the comment about using our fire trucks for things that aren't for fire things. I think that, if people are taking the truck to go in and get lunch or whatever, I understand that's nice for the community to see the trucks, but it costs us money on wear and tear. It costs us money on the insurance. It does not provide the vehicle to be inside the district, which I know a lot of the public is concerned that they want, when their house is burning down, they want now. And if they're not even in our district because they're out getting lunch or whatever, and
And so
I
which
just think
line
that's a
item are we referring to?
just
Just so I can keep track.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
That
okay.
really isn't a line item,
Oh, okay.
but it's the cost of using the vehicles, the gas for the vehicles. So that is kind of in the budget
Yeah,
because it's an expense. So,
Okay,
So-
appreciate that.
it's been about 6.
thank you.
Thanks,
She was
Carol.
talking about replacement cost on the vehicles.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I could see the connection to the budget.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that concludes the budget hearing meeting. Need to, announce the, next date will be,
I believe it's October 8th.
October 8th.
I'm looking at my phone, except I turned it off.
So I think it is
Yes, the 8th.
10 days, right?
10 days, yeah, it's supposed to be. 8th,
Yes.
yeah, next meeting, that'll be the budget adoption meeting, be,
Oh, it's got 10 business
It's already on the
days.
books.
Can I say something real quick?
yes,
Okay. Are you?
No.
Okay. As many of you know, the remodel on Station 31 is complete. The trailer is gone, thank God. And we are having an open house October 4th at the fire station, so everybody can take a tour through it, see what it looks like now, see what has been completed with your money, basically. The new driveway, the remodel, and the whole 9 yards. If you've got a minute, I would like to explain something real quick.
sure.
Larry, what time is the open house?
We haven't determined time, but I'm thinking 12 to 5.
Probably be posted on the website.
Yes, we'll post it on the website.
Okay.
There seems to be, I believe Eric was saying we should have 11 full-time firefighters, is that correct?
Ask your fire chief there.
I would say, yeah, I'd love to have 11. I'd actually like to have 13 if I'm being honest, but 13 people total.
Okay, so when you say 11, that's per shift, correct?
Yes.
So that's 33 full-time firefighters. To get to that point, you will need that much money to get there.
I don't think you're gonna be able to afford full-time. Nobody said 33 full-time firefighters.
No, you said full-time firefighters, okay? Those were your words,
Did
okay?
anybody hear that?
It'll be on the video, you can double check it.
Okay, then I just want to say one other thing about the CUME fund. The CUME fund is not something that we dream up and come up with a budget. The CUME fund is a tax rate. Our tax rate is 0.333. That is the highest tax rate that you're allowed in the state of Indiana. For us, that generates over $300,000 a year. So you can see in 4 years' time, you've got $1.2 million. If you leave your CUME fund alone where it's supposed to be, and spare it and use it wisely, that falls into the capital improvement plan, you do have money to buy new equipment. And you're good to go.
Are we done?
Hmm?
Are we done?
You finished, Larry?
Yes, you're
Thank
good to go.
you, thank you, Larry.
There.
All right. Got a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second that.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting's adjourned.
8:21.
What?
8:21.
8:21?
Started 10 minutes late.
What was?
And you
the
did
date
the
of next
second?
meeting?
October
Second
8th.
for the adjournment.
You seconded it, yeah.